Why do I need to be good all the time? I'm wrapped around his finger, but he is mine. Don't care what they say, too late anyway. Why do I need to be good all the time? Nah, 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 no drama, yeah. Nah, 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 no drama, yeah. Nah, 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 no drama, yeah, yeah.
Hey y'all, welcome to Cleaning Life with Kia. Happy Tuesday. Thank you all so much for being here with me this evening. To all my live viewers, I welcome you. And thank you to the ones that are going to catch the replay at some point. I understand that we live busy lives and, may not be able to catch the live all the time. So I do appreciate you. Um, just tapping in at any time. So again, welcome to Cleaning Life with Kia, and I'm Kia. My name is Kia Smith, and I'm the owner and founder of Help Now. It's a small cleaning business here in the Tulsa, Oklahoma, and surrounding areas. We specialize in different type of cleanings. Your standard general cleanings, your deep cleanings. I do declutter, organization, anything household management, anything home management. That's what we do at Help Now. And our mission is to help our clients manage their home and organize parts of their lives that matter most by bringing families and communities together through complete household management. We have a passion to help heal and nourish our clients through life, whether they need help now or later. So thank you all so much for being here. Um, So for those that are reoccurring and that tap in from time to time, I always do this thing before I start my topic, and I just have to kind of ramble, and just talk about, different things that I've been through since the last show. So, here we talk about, I say all the time, we talk about cleaning life and everything in between because, yes, this is a podcast about cleaning. I give tips and, all that good stuff. And it's not for everybody because that's not important to everyone. So I'm just saying that for the ones that are here, that's important, to we talk about all those things because in the midst of just your everyday life, you still have to manage your home, you still have to clean. You still have to function in this space where you dwell and you sleep and you live, as you are going on through this journey every day. Like it's just something that never ends and never stops. So I'm just here to throw an assist. I've been doing this for some time and I actually have a passion for what I do. I love it and I'm very intentional. So I just, use my business as a platform here to talk about something that I love doing and have a passion for and that I'm intentional with. So yeah. But the ones that always kind of tune in, they know I just kind of ramble and talk about things in the beginning. And for those that don't, that haven't tuned in before, I'll ramble in the beginning. And trust me, I will not be holding you long tonight. I promise I won't be holding you long. I say that every show, and then I end up going to the bitter end. Um, as a matter of fact, actually, I know that I have my topic here, the power of helping, and I'm going to actually save that topic for my next live show, and I'm going to tell you why. Um, but even before I hop off of here, I just wanted to share, just a few things and ramble like I always do, and ultimately just tell you the reason actually why I'm not going to be here, and I'm not going to be speaking on the topic tonight. So first thing I wanted to share, I had an interesting event over the weekend. So I had clients this weekend, and I did. We did a garage cleaning and we did just regular, standard cleanings this weekend. But the highlight was the garage. So I go over, we have been playing, like going back and forth with each other with cleaning. Cleaning this garage has always been the weather and it's been timing and scheduling and all of that. So we tried to take another stab at it this weekend and it was raining this weekend. So I had to push the time back a little bit and we had to catch like a gap where it wasn't because, we've been putting it off, not putting it off. We just haven't had time and things have been happening. Couldn't get it done. So we went there, Kabaya and I. And so they raised the garage, and like she was so embarrassed. This is my client and her husband, but she's like, I'm just so sorry. Like she was genuinely like apologizing. And I'm like, I see this all the time. This is part of the job. Like she want numbers. She was like, I know. She said, I got to be the your top worst garage you've ever done. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like I've seen pretty much it all, pretty much almost until I get finished with this story. Almost. I thought I had seen it all. So it actually just lifting it up, and assessing it, it wasn't the worst that I've had. I've had one, well, at least I thought that was worse than this. She said, well, I know it's in the top 5. So I'm like, yeah, it might be in the top 5, but it's not, you don't get the top position. You're not in the top 3. You're not the top person of the worst garages. So, we get to working, Kabai and and I have everything laid out where I'm going to put everything, that they're going to keep everything that she's going to get rid of. They got rid of a lot of things. And it was just a garage that was just stuff full of stuff. Like at some point, I just think they just stopped caring. It was just so many clothes. It was just a lot of everything in there. And there were a lot of those storage tote containers. And so we had to take all of that stuff out. So a lot of that stuff, we automatically knew that it was going to be trash. They had some water damage in the garage or whatever. So we knew all of that stuff was going to be trash. And the clothes that were there, we knew it was going to be trash. And then there were just certain things that were just trash, like water bottles and papers and stuff like that. We automatically knew that was trash. But when you have stuff like suitcases and totes, we have to allow the client to go through and see what it is that they want to keep. If it's something they need to throw away, if it's something they need to keep, they have to go through that. We can't make that decision. We're just there to declutter and do the manpower part of the work, for them. So first of all, my glass is not working. So we went to go drag out this one tote. And the thing about it is I opened the tote, I lifted the end, and it was kind of bent because there were other totes that were sitting on top of it. So it was all kind of bent on one side and kind of crumpled up, and the lid didn't fit all the way. The lid was on there, but it wasn't on there all the way. So I called myself, for whatever reason, just lifting, because I guess it was kind of bent and messed up, to lift the end of the tote. So I lifted and and I put it back. And so I was about to attempt to drag it over to my client, and something else happened that called for my attention. So I had to stop doing that. And I went over there to do whatever it is that I needed to do. They caught my attention. And so then Kavai comes behind me and he grabs the same tote. And when I was over there dealing with the tote, he was doing something else. So he didn't see that I had opened the tote. He didn't know that I had even touched the tote. But anyway, he gets over there to the tote and he opens the end of the tote. It's a possum, y'all, in the tote, y'all. A whole possum in there chilling. First of all, I don't even know. Like, I need again, and I need to start wearing my glasses all the time is what I need. So, because I promised, the way that I lifted it up and the direction I was looking inside the tote, I know I had to be looking at the thing straight in his face. And I just put the lid down, didn't see nothing. Kabai opened up, he was like, oh my God, it's a whole possum in there. Like, we freaked out. And so I'm at a client's house, like, we all black. So we don't do all this wildlife. You can kind of tell, like, these are the type of people that's got possum catchers or nets or whatever you use to catch possums. We're just here, just kind of looking crazy, trying to figure out what to do. Like, so literally we had to stop doing, because honey, we don't do that. We don't do that at Help Now. We don't capture possums and raccoons and things of that nature. So my shirt is not acting right on here this evening. Goodness. But we don't do that there. We don't do that at Help Now. And it was a whole situation. Like, we had to wait, and the whole time I'm feeling some type of way too, not in the bad way. I'm just like, well, I'm here. So they're gonna have to like, I'm still having to charge. I can't, because I'm hearing this my time. So my client's husband, and it's a battle for time because I don't ever try to gouge my clients or anything like that. Like we work hard and people pay and we move on, but that was kind of like a hiccup, which made me think about some other things moving forward because we be all up in people's garages, and like we understand like there may be snakes, there may be mice or stuff like that, but it just whatever reason well, I've had a lot on my mind. I know exactly what happened. Like I didn't even think about anything. I'm just trying to finish the project so I can get to the house because I had other things to do. And had guests in town and everything. So my mind is just, it's really just somewhere else. And so eventually, oh my God, they had to go get the neighbor next door. The neighbor came back, I'm talking about with some type of mitts on, or boxing gloves on. I don't know. Her son went and found a bat, like did not know what to do. So anyway, um, they ended up taping the tote together. So I guess the poor thing just suffocated. So the client had called the people to come pick it up and they were going to charge her. They said $800 to come get a possum out of her garage. And they was like, no, we're not paying $800 to get a wild possum out of the garage. It's not like it's a pet or something like that. We're not going to do that. So they had to figure it out. They figured it out, but like I said, my mind gonna have to start shifting because even though I'm aware that those things are in there, like I need to have some other stuff in my equipment bucket or something to come a little bit more prepared because I just did not expect. And Kabai was just done. Like we don't do animals like that. So he was just over it. He was just done. But it all worked out. We ended up getting it out and we finished right in the nick of time. I still need to go back because it did start raining on us. But I did get done 90% of what needed to be done before it started raining or whatever. But that was the first time it happened. And then I had to tell her, I said, oh, and just to let you know, that number being in that top 5 percentile, you're definitely number one. You're definitely number one because then as you start breaking the layers down, I started breaking the layers down in the garage. There was like, she had some water damage. The possum had been in there living and just decided to chill in the tote, but you could tell it had been in there because a lot of the bags and a lot of the things that were in the garage, you could tell he had been chewing, he or she, whatever it is, was chewing through it. And it was like possum poop in there. And it was just a whole thing. And I was just like, dear God, I got myself into it. Even with all of that, it was still fun. Like you don't want to tackle anything, but like that's what I love about having that business because it's always something going on. It's always something exciting and something out the way that happens outside of, out of your norm. So that was kind of the highlight from the weekend is that we had our first kind of like wild creature encounter with a doggone possum, but it worked out. And so the second reason, and the main reason pretty much why I'm going to be postponing this topic and do it next time is because I have to feel what I feel. Like I didn't feel like I was able to put a bunch of energy into the topic this evening, even though like I feel it in my heart and it's there. Like I don't ever come on here without the energy of being able to accomplish the task at hand. So I'm very intentional and I love my podcast and I love doing what I do and being on here and everything. And then I had contemplated like so many times, I was like, no, I'm gonna just do like a replay and be done with it, but I was like, no, this is just really a good opportunity to talk about some things that, I'm always saying on here and how it relates to my life as well. So my son, he left for the Air Force today. So he's beginning his journey with the Air Force. And so he left yesterday, but he's like gone today. And you have to allow yourself to feel what you feel. I was just saying how I always say on here, like we talk about cleaning life and everything in between. So I'm in a place now today where it's the life and the in between part of it all, and being able to identify like when you need to pull back and you need to switch and change things up. I'm the type of person I really believe in, being able and being allowed to like feel what you feel So I'm feeling what I feel. And I said, I think I'm just going to postpone my topic because I'm not going to be able to get it out in the way that I would like to get it out and put it out there for my audience. And I didn't want to come on at all. But like, again, like I said, we have to deal with these things. Life changes all the time. And like for me, um, I'm not sad like "Oh, I'm never gonna see him again," because that's not the case. He's somewhere he's safe. He's somewhere he wants to be. He's happy. He's confident. He's smiling. He's excited. Like it's all good. Like when I tell you all good. But I think for me, it's just that whole everything that has happened until we got to this point. I already knew that it was coming. I knew what it would look like. I had an idea what it would feel like, but it's nothing like actually being in that space, like when it's really going on. So for the last few weeks, we've been traveling a lot, been trying to make sure that got a chance to see all of our, family and friends and as many people as he needed to see to hug and love on them and lay eyes on them and pray for them and all of that good stuff. So very intentional about that and nurturing his little soul before he goes out on his new journey. And I love my kids. Like everything I do, all my energy, all my intentions, like it's for them. Like it's for me, but it's for them. And it's always been that way. And we've always been together. So he's my firstborn and he's the first one to leave home. And I'm just in a space of a lot of firsts. And I know I was talking to my mom today, and she was like, "Yeah, and there are going to be a lot of parents, feeling the same way that you're feeling today." Um, I saw him last, like on yesterday, because he had to go to the recruiter's office, and the recruiter had to take him to OKC, and then from OKC, he had to catch a plane, to go where he needs to go. And so the kids, they just been laughing and they just think it's just a big old joke because they'd be like, mom's gonna cry. She's gonna cry. Yeah, she's gonna cry. Look, and did. But it wasn't like just sad tears. Like, of course I'm gonna miss him. But it's these transitions. So that's what I wanted to share. Like we all go through all these different type of transitions all the time. Our kids move up, grow up and move out and go on. And, sometimes, bad things happen and we have to go through that when we lose people or, other things happen. It puts us in a different space. So like for me, it's just been a lot of overstimulation, been trying to get him prepared and just everything that goes into it. You have to tie up all kind of like loose ends and make sure he's prepared to go and has everything he needs while you still have my other three children, while I'm still working, while I still have a business, have to deal with the clients, it's just very overstimulating. And I'm aware of it all. I know what's going on. But that's part of that again, everything that happens, planning life and everything that happens in between. So again, it's just one of those in between uh, phases. It's a new phase of adjustment for me because the trajectory of everything is changing. Even with him not being here, it's so quiet. Like he's the one that kind of keep the house a little bit live and, all of that, like every little thing that he brought, the energy that he brought into the home, like it's been instantly like it's gone. So I have to transition for that. My his brothers, my other babies, they have to transition to that as well. And so I'm just feeling the mom feels this evening, and I'm allowing myself to feel what I feel, and so that I can go through it. A lot of times, like we'll just keep going, we'll just keep doing, we'll just keep on, and then sometimes you just need to sit back and again, like I said, just feel what you feel and adjust to it. So I didn't feel like just being on here on the topic, and I know my heart wasn't like 100% in it. Like I'm excited about the topic. It's a good topic. It's gonna be good stuff when I present it again. But it's just again like one of those things. And even with him going on, like talking about helping, like some of my help is gone because he had chores here and responsibilities, and he was like my errand person and stuff like that. So now that's out of the equation. So it's like everything is kind of just just changing, and I want to allow myself to feel how I feel And like, I'm happy because even in this moment, I'm able to talk about it. I'm not busting out in tears. Like, I know he was just like, oh, he told me when we were getting ready to part from each other, but last time, like physically, so I'm hugging him and stuff like that. I'm crying and look, he like, bro, chill. He's like, you don't tell me no, bro, chill. I'm hurting. Like, had a good old cry, but it's just because I love him so much. It's not, like anything because I'm like sad or anything. Because trust, I told him minutes, I can't wait for your ass to leave. I can't wait for your ass to go get on my nerves. We do that as parents, but obviously, I'm so excited and I'm happy for him. But I'm like, let me just get on here and speak to my people just for a few minutes, but I'm gonna take time. Um, and it's so hard, like when you run in a business and you got other stuff going on because, and especially when you're promoting yourself like on social media and stuff like that, because you have to stay relevant. Like you can't take a break for a second because once those your stuff get lost in the algorithms and slow down, like it just takes so much work and so much effort to try to get it back where it belongs. And I don't be feeling like doing it either. So it's just like I'm kind of just being kind of real minimal so far as, content or putting stuff out there because I'm really just trying to um, feel myself through this transition and heal myself through this transition. And a lot of us, we don't take time to do that. We just keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going. And, that's just this part of life where, you got to slow down a little bit and I have to back off and back up. And I still have to like manage my home, even though I feel the way I feel. It's a little bit of sadness, but it's just because I mean, it's just a natural sadness. Like, of course, I'm gonna miss my kid. I love my kid. Anybody that know that I love my kids, like in a real big way. So, it's not like a void that's gone. It's it's just something that's changing. It's just a transition. So I just feel what I feel. But it's a part of life because even in the midst of that, I still have to go to work. I still have to connect with my clients. I still have to make sure that my home is functioning and being maintained and ran a certain way. And the best way for me to be able to do that is allow myself to feel what I feel. And I'm not like, oh, well, it's me. I love my baby gone. And, all on, any other forms of social media complaining like, oh, he gone. And some people they just kind of like attention, and it's like I'm real straight. Like I just need to pull back and kind of decompress and feel what I feel, and it's all good. And I say, well, let me just get on here now because I already know me, and that's just how I operate and I function. I know that I'm probably like borderline, kind of isolate a little bit, uh, and kind of get to myself. But that's how I get better and that's how I make sense of everything. And not that I haven't made sense of it now, you just feel what you feel and that's just a natural thing. And we don't allow ourselves a lot of times. We try to act like nothing. So, it's okay. I'm not bothered. Like I went to work after I left him, like when I told him before we had to part ways, he had to, be at his recruiter. I had to go I went to work and I no, I should have took the day off, but I thought about it in advance. I was like, I probably need to go because it'll offer as a distraction. So, I come in to work, my eyes are puffy. They good and puffy, but I'm really good about like communicating. I don't like putting people in my business like that, but I do tell people what they need to know. So even before uh, all of this had taken place, like the manager in my job, whatever, and the people that that I work with, I have to let them know like, hey, he leaving. I'm gonna be late to work on this day, and it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. Y'all just gonna have to let me be. So I got in, and they could tell them like, "You cool?" I said, "This is a real emotionally unpredictable day," is what I told them. I said, "This is an emotion." I said, "I ain't here. I don't need nobody coddling me, and you okay all day. You ain't got to do all that either." But I'm just kind of in a space. I just kind of want to do my job. I kind of just want to be left alone. I said, but I'm not irritated. I'm not irritated. I'm not mad. It's not like y'all can't talk to me or anything like that. I said, but I don't want y'all to, how people be weird. Like, if you cry and stuff, and I'm not really a crier. Like if I cry, it's because I really feel something or I really need to cry. And, just initially with him leaving like that, like I was just getting all the unpredictable tear jerks. Like, you know how it is, like when you about to throw up, but you can't help it. It just kind of come up, and it's just, I was having some of those moments. So I'm like, but I'm really good about, just expressing myself. Like, I don't feel no way about it. I don't feel shame. Like if I cry nothing like that, I'm like, shoot, I love my kid and he gone and I feel some type of way. I ain't gonna be up in here like just boo-hooing like that. I know how to remove myself, but if a tear or two drop or whatever, I'm gonna wipe my eyes and I'm gonna keep doing my work and doing what I gotta do. But I just want to be able to feel safe in feeling what I feel. And so, I do love that about where I work at. Like everybody has grown to know me, like, and I'm a little different, but they respect it and they honor it and they know how I am. So it's not like no big deal. Like they know that I'm gonna be, they know I'm gonna be all right. I just had a text from my son. He just said we landed. So yeah, just confirmation. I was struggling when I had got up the first morning. I'm telling you, I was struggling. Like it wasn't like I was like just crying uncontrollably. I just knew that it was going to be a day for me. So I got up, I said a prayer, I meditated. I asked God, I said, I really need your help today. I talked to my ancestors. I said, I need y'all help today. And it was particularly from like my great grandmother. Like I just felt like I just needed, her love that day. And, so you speak things out into existence. So I went to work. And it's this lady that comes in the store, and this lady looks just like my great grandmother. She looks just like my grandmother. And I've never told her. Her name is Miss Fuller, and I've never told Miss Fuller. I just enjoy her when she comes in. She just be talking. She acts nothing like my grandmother. My grandmother's real quiet and meek, and Miss Fuller is just she have on a lipstick, and she's so lively, and there's no telling what that lady may say, and that's why we get along because we just be talking and we get along so good. But physically, she looks like my great grandmother, which is wild to me. The first time I saw it, blew my mind. And like every time she comes in the store, it's just, I just feel a sense of comfort. I can't even explain it, even though her energy is different and she be talking and, you know, but just looking at her, it calms me so much. In that day that I was struggling, the first day I was struggling so bad, she came into the store. And like my heart was so happy because I truly, honestly, and I genuinely, I needed that. It was like confirmation. And then the he was supposed to be leaving. That he had to get up like at 4 in the morning. And my thing was, I was like, I hope I can catch him for, one last text or one last talk before he's actually like, where he can't, communicate anymore. And so when I woke up, it was like instantly this morning, I woke up at 4:44. And so I'm big on like synchronicities and like angel numbers and stuff like that. I'm real big. And so 444 has been my number, my numbers. And I mean, I just been seeing all of them, but specifically those. So I know that it's just a sign, and even with Miss Fuller there, like it just gave me so much calm, and it just lets you know that you're right where you're supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you're doing a good job at it. And we just have to learn to, lean in to these changes and to these transitions, and it's nothing to fear because the thing about it is whatever it is that we're faced with, we have to get through it and we have to go through it. So it's no sense in delaying the progress by, stressing out and, being over dramatic and being attention seeking. Like if you're truly trying to, because like I don't have time to be feeling bad. This stuff I be thinking about. Like I don't have time to be sad. I, don't, I have so much on my plate. I'll be having so much to do. So it's just like, let me handle whatever it is that I got going on. Let me be logical. Let me be responsible with it. Allow my emotions to play whatever part they need to play, but don't allow them to take over, the whole situation and run. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for being aware of of everything and what's going on. Stuff happen all the time, every day. Every day you wake up is something. Every day you wake up is something. So life is not as bad as we be thinking. You be thinking like, woe is me, but it's like it's a million other things that I can think about that'll make my situation look like a cakewalk because it's not even something bad. Like, it's just it's just the mommy in me. And I've been thinking about all these people that's been affected by all these floods and all this rain and, just being swept up, just being seen, just been seeing just whole houses just floating down the road. So those are the type of things we have to think about to put stuff, into perspective. So like I said, I just had to feel what I feel and just come on here and chat. And then I also love my podcast because it offers as a distraction and it's something that I love to do. So even though I wasn't prepped to stay on topic tonight, it has really helped me just by being here, just being able to speak because I know I'm not the only one. As parents, like the kids have to leave the nest at some point. So that's what we strive for. They be all little and you can't even imagine and fathom the day that they're going to leave. And then one day they leave. One day they're gone on, but he has so much excitement in his eyes and so his smile was just everything. And he's so confident about stepping out on his own and not being able, not being afraid to maneuver on his own without having me there. And it made me feel good as a parent that I was able to look at him and be like, you know what? I have a good kid. Like they're all good boys. And you have your ups and downs and things that you have to go through because if you have kids, it's always going to be something all the time, but be able to just stand there and look at him and be like, I can release you knowing that you're a good person. You have good morals. You're happy. You're healthy. You're gonna be an awesome citizen out here. You've been a good citizen out here, and it's just time to start on that other journey of life. And just so glad to be there to witness it and him being in such good spirits and doing such great things. So even with me, stepping back, isolating, kind of decompressing, like I'm basking in all of those good things as well. It's nothing bad, but I just want to be able to take this evening because it's been a long road, getting him here and now that it's over, it's like the big sigh after everything is done and you know now the new journey begins. So I'm just going to take some time. I don't know how long it's going to be. It may be a few days, it may be a week, I don't know, but I'm not putting anything. All I know is that I'm just going to get up every day. I'm going to be purposeful about just getting on down the road with whatever comes next, because like I said, every day is just something else. So this was just a quick impromptu, tapping in with y'all because, I'll be up on here all the time and be like, okay, I'm giving you your tips and this is what we should do. And, we got to handle life and we got to handle cleaning. We got to do this and we got to do that. But listen, I am no exception. I be dealing with stuff all the time, but that's just what you have to do. You have to deal with it. And typically, like I be on my square, like nothing really just draws a lot of emotion out of me, but then when it comes to the kids and stuff, like, it pulls at your heartstrings from time to time. And this is just a new adventure for me in life. Typically they're all around and I'm making the decisions and this is going on. So we going into a whole totally different bracket. And so now he's gone and then I have a senior this year. So they're just moving on out the way, doing what they're doing. They're growing up and doing exactly what I intended to do so far as like, us raising them and, being parents. So, that's just what it is. So, one quick thing. So another good thing, is I have plenty to keep me busy. I have work, I have business, I have children, I have other goals and business ventures and stuff like that. And then I did decide to pick up on a new hobby. So I'm real excited about that. Eli, he been on my head so bad about it too. It's like, you just keep doing stuff that just let me know that you old. So I started bird watching. Ah, who knew? So I got interesting. I got me a beginner's bird watching book, and I ordered me some binoculars. I haven't opened the binoculars yet because I wanted to take a real good crack at my book first. I was in my mom's house, and I love being in my mom's house and in her yard. And I was outside, and I was grounding and just practicing mindfulness outside. And you close your eyes and you open your ears, and like the birds were just chirping, and I could tell that there were like 4 or 5 different birds that were like in communication, and I don't know, the sun, which it was just a beautiful just thing. And then I noticed this one bird in particular, it had a route. It had a route from a tree that was in my mama's backyard to a tree across the street to the tree that was behind the house that across the street. And it just kept making the same route, the whole time. And it was just quite fascinating. And it was very calm, and um, something you can do that's very quiet, and it takes patience. And I don't know, it just felt like a whole vibe. So like now I've just gotten into it. So I'm excited about that. So I've started reading my book, and I'll start playing with my binoculars maybe this week or this weekend sometime. So there's always good things to get into. Like I'm not just gonna be sitting somewhere ever. Like, oh, woe is me, and no, life goes on, and I'm excited because trust me, listen, my son ain't somewhere crying. He excited, like he excited about all the fun things he about to get himself into, and the places he's about to go, and the people he about to meet. So it's just life, and it changes all the time. So we just have to learn how to adapt and adjust and align ourselves with all the great things, that are coming into our lives. And I receive all that. I know it's nothing but good stuff, that's happening, and even greater stuff that's coming down the way, for me and for my family and for this podcast and for my business and for like all of it. So I just wanted to get on here for just a second to just have a transparent moment where I'm always transparent with y'all. But it's just one of those things I'm kind of dealing with, because I know some people probably be like, man, she's been probably a little bit quiet. She's been a little bit, but I have to just sit back and I have to take it all in. And like I said, just feel what I feel. It don't mean I'm sitting somewhere here in a corner in a hole somewhere in a fetal position crying and distressed. It's not like that. I just have to honor myself and be honest with doing the things that I need to do in order to be able to function. Like I don't like shutting down or anything like that. I just like being responsible and going through whatever it is that I need to go through, because honey, life don't stop. Nothing stops, nothing halts, nothing ceases. Everything just keeps going and going and going and going. So anyway, I stayed on here a little bit longer than I had intended to, but I feel better. And thank y'all for tuning in and hanging in here with me. Like I said, this is just life. So the majority of the podcast, we will be talking about cleaning and all of that. And I promise we'll pick up with the topic on next week. But I just felt like that was what needed to be conveyed this evening. And like I said, I feel better, and it is a part of that journey of life, like different things happening that kind of interrupt our plans. I heard a long time ago, life is what happens in between the plans we make. So we can make all the plans we want to make, and then life is going to show up every time. But it's how we deal with it and how we handle it and how we handle the people that are around us, while we're going through these different changes and transitions. So it is all well. Then thank y'all for just being here and hanging out. Because I say it wasn't even a topic. I know people like tapping in, talking about, we're talking about the power of helping, which the world would run so much better if people knew what the effect of the power of helping, each other and helping one another. But we're gonna dive into that next time. But I just wanted to pop in here, and I didn't want to do like a replay or anything like that. I really did want to connect with y'all today and just kind of let y'all know what I had going on and what's been going on. And I've done that. So I appreciate y'all always for your time and your energy and your love, and continue to just send love and light this way, because I need it. You have those dips in your emotions, like I'm cool and all, but then you just be like, oh, I'm better, and it's good, and like you know what I'm saying. So I'm just allowing myself to be who I am, and that's how I get through things, just being me and being honest with me and my energy. I ain't here to impress nobody. I don't care what nobody think. Everybody deal with their stuff however they want to deal with it, but I be trying to handle mine in the right way, as much as possible. So, it's all good. But thank y'all, and I love y'all, and have a good night. And next time we see each other, we will be talking about the power of helping. And until then, just do the work, y'all. and have a good night.
Why do I need to be good all the time? I'm wrapped around his finger, but he is mine. Don't care what they say, too late anyway. Why do I need to be good all the time? Nah, 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 no drama, yeah. Nah, 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 no drama,